Okay, y'all, what's up? I'm back. So today for our Strange Story Thursdays, we have a video by Razv. We reacted to him before over here, okay? And this one is about a serial killer who murders people on his creepy boat. Okay, let's get into it.
Serial killer murders his victims, but this serial killer also have a camera. This camera have his secrets. Throws it in the water. The camera will be gone forever. It's not. Police then discovered this camera and found some crazy evidence and found the person who done all of this to the victims. How this whole thing builds up and how these people are murdered and captured in this way. It's terrifying. It's honestly terrifying. So what happens is in South Korea, 2007, police gets a call. First, it's silent. You don't hear anything. Hangs up. Calls 3 more times, and all you can hear is a man's voice in the background. The reason why I have the chills for this right now, as you can see, is because this was the last call. You hear this man's voice. You can't really make out what this person was saying. The reason why I do have the chills for this is because this brought back memories of the 2 girls from Snapchat that caught this man walking on this street. And you can hear his voice in the audio that the girls captured. It brings back memories to that whole case. And it was murder. They couldn't find the killer for a very long time. Things of that nature. But back to this story is that you hear this man's voice. Police automatically thought, okay, whoever this person is that's calling, they need help. They didn't know if the man was the person that was keeping the person that called in danger, or the person that called and that voice we hear is the person that is in danger. We don't know yet. Time passed by. They then tracked to where this number came from. And it came from this girl. She was 19 years old. So that man probably had something to do with this whole 911 call and her needing help, but we couldn't hear her voice. Strange. What makes it a little bit even much more confusing, because that what we do here, confuse the out of you, is she came with her boyfriend. It was a day trip. They had a vacation. They wanted to go to the seaside and enjoy their time here. Why it's more confusing? Because that man voice could have been the boyfriend's voice, but honestly that little muffled sound like an elderly man. Not elderly, but older, maybe 40s 30s, something like that. Not young, like 19 and things like their age. Let's be real.
I can't really hear anything, honestly, to make out if that's a man's voice, let alone anybody's voice that's talking.
But like I told you in the beginning, this is a creepy murderer. We get that couple on CCTV footage actually. And as you can see, they're holding hands and walking. They literally look like they're on a movie set. How romantic and beautiful this look. Like they really do look cute. Oh. I don't know why I did it like that. But they look cute. They look romantic. They look like they're enjoying themselves. Like she's literally jumping up and down. She is excited. Like this is a good time. Then the farther they go, the more grainier and harder it is for you to see them. This is bad because we see someone coming out of a boat and approaching them. But obviously we can only see little bits of movements of that person coming towards them. That interaction happens. Investigators are looking at the CCTV footage. They then discover an hour after that interaction, that 911 call happens. Once that 911 call happens, they tried to connect the dots to see who this man is. They couldn't. It was very hard to do so. This was in 2007. Cameras is not as advanced as it is now today in 2026. But a bit of time goes by, not a lot. Very, very short amount of time. I believe the next day they found their bodies, both of them, floating in the river. You see why that's sad? Like, oh, that's just so beautiful. Just holding hands, jumping up and down, and to get murdered literally that same day, and then to be found the next day. That's why I say sometimes life is just crazy. Wrong place, wrong time is truly a thing. And I can get why people love to be homebodies and just stay inside. I'm a homebody too, just saying. You know, I be just chilling in my bed, relaxing, just homebodying it up. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't.
Let's get back to the video, sir. Why the fuck he's
I'm so sorry for that. The problem is I'm recording this 4:58 a.m. in the morning right now, so I get crackhead energy and I get extremely weird around these hours because
don't do that. You just scared the fuck out of me with that, because my headphones just turned up. And that sounded a little scary.
It's like all types of things. Whatever. Back to the story. So as days go by, they didn't know how they was murdered. The only real logical reason that they can come up with is that maybe they fell in the water. Maybe they possibly drowned. They didn't really know how they got murdered. So let's fast forward 25 days. Two girls come on this island for a vacation, having fun, enjoying their time, right? They go missing. But there's an older couple that seen these two girls. They seen them. When this news came out that these girls are missing, this older couple, they said, our phone went missing. So we approached these two girls to use their phone to try to see if we can get our phone back. So they used the girl's phone to find their phone, and they ended up finding their phone. I guess they was just calling it. They must have dropped it in the high grass or sandy area and couldn't find it, so they had to call it to find it, things of that nature. But they found it. Then they said goodbye to the girls. The girls said goodbye to this older couple back. Here's the creepy part. This was like a blessing in disguise that this happened, because them two girls ended up going on the boat with some creep, but they ended up being trapped on the boat. So the girls being trapped on the boat take out her phone and text that older couple that they got in contact with earlier, because they used the phone to call their phone to search for their phone. So they was easily able to text them and say, look, hey, we're the girls that helped you find your phone. Can you please call 119 quickly? AKA that's the police there in South Korea. So the girls need help. They're in danger and they're stuck on this boat. What the hell is going on? He don't waste no time texting her back. What he actually do is call the police immediately and tell them what was going on. Then he texted her back after he got off the phone with the police and said, are you kidnapped? But it was no response. The police got involved, and they said there was only one boat that sailed that day because it was a holiday for the Koreans. I don't remember what holiday it was, but at this moment it was. So that's why they didn't have that much boat sailing this day. And this one boat, which you're seeing here. Now, if you look at this boat, girls saying they're trapped on this boat, it's like, what? It can be true in this little tucked in square box looking area, but it's like if they're stuck in that type of area, they have to be tied up or chained up or cuffed or something of that nature. Because in my head, when I first seen that text, I'm like, okay, it's a big boat. Maybe they're trapped in a room and they can't get out this room because maybe the door locks from the outside and not the inside, something like that. This is a bit different. They had to investigate this, and they see that it's a 70-year-old man. This man, he's skinny, petite, he's not really that strong or anything like that. He's 70 years old. When they looked at him,
70-year-old scrawny man is out here taking people out, because they said he killed the couple with the young man and the girl. So even the boy, what did the boy do? What did the young man do? Like, he couldn't take out a scrawny 70-year-old. What is... Okay, come on. I gotta find out what's going on with this.
They honestly thought, well, I mean, look at this man. It's no way he could possibly be doing this, right? Until they checked the boat. When they checked the boat, they're looking for clues and evidence, obviously, and they found one. A card that belongs to one of the two missing girls. He's caught. Then they find another clue. A hair tie on the boat. You're 70 years old. Your hair not long. You're not having hair ties.
Right.
It belongs to one of them girls. He ended up confessing because that evidence was like definitely good enough. You used the only boat that day, and then you had the card and the hair tie. That's all they really needed for him to confess. And then you have to tell yourself though, and you have to ask yourself, why did these women get on this boat? Why? Now I understand, I get it. You're a tourist, you're having fun in different locations, in different areas. But this is why you need to do your research, see who are the actual workers who tour you around and who are actually the professionals to be on boats, touring people around and doing these things. And it could be with anything. It don't have to be with boats. Because I can assume he was probably like, yeah, get in this boat. Let's have fun. You're going to see the water. You're just going to relax on the water. You ladies will love it. It can always be easy traps to just lure you in. I say no. I said no. They had this man. I know I'm going on a tangent and I'm doing all that. Whatever. But they had this man when I was walking. And it's also really important if you are alone or if you travel alone like how I do. When I was walking, this man came. He was a French guy, started talking to me in French. I didn't understand. I said English. He didn't really speak English that well. He had to take out his phone, use his translator app, and he was talking to me through the translator app. I was kind of acting a little dumb because I didn't want to be in front of his face at the moment. I wanted to just be rude and walk away. At the same time, being rude can sometimes be just bad. It could be bad because it can start a potential fight. I don't want to have to beat nobody up, do none of these things. I know I have a friendly, calm face, but my dude gets down. These
Oh, you be
hands are
beating people
registered.
up.
I'm
Okay,
calm with
okay.
this man, and he's telling me about a mafia and how there's these men that wants to like kill him. He opened up his camera roll and
Sir, call the police. I can't
he's
help you.
showing me photos of him being in the house with
Bye, I'm
these
walking
people,
off.
and they
Call the
taking
police.
pictures, and these people having guns,
Because
and
why
they're
are you
doing
telling
all of
me?
that. He only needed 20 euros because he wanted to get away. He wanted to take the bus to get away, but he didn't have it. So he's trying to run away from the mafia. In my head, I'm knowing that if the mafia let you free, set you free. This did seem genuine, by the way. You're not getting away like how you think you are. They know your every step. They know what you're doing. You're going to get got. I don't want to be involved in none of this. Look, you should have
Right.
never told
Boy,
me.
you ain't finna have the mafia coming after me just because I gave you 20 euros to get away. They not about to have me strung up somewhere. Sir, call the police. I'm sorry.
That. So now I gotta play stupid.
Self-preservation.
Hey,
I
meet
got
me
a
in this
family to
spot
go
in
home
two
to.
hours. I'ma go get my card. I still got business to take care of. I'ma do all this. Meet me in this spot in 2 hours. And I said, bye. He said, bye. But wait, you believe in God? Do you believe in God? I
Bye,
said, yes,
sir.
I do
Leave me
believe in God.
alone.
He says, good. You're a good man. Please meet me here in 2 hours. I
Okay.
didn't. I lied. Don't
Yeah.
stop me and waste my time. Also, if that was a real scenario and situation, I wouldn't even want to get involved in that. If you want to run, you got to figure that out on your own, my guy. Okay, anyways. So the 70-year-old man confession was he wanted
Yeah, sometimes, y'all, you got to be okay with being a bad guy. Self-preservation. I'm sorry. Like, y'all got families and loved ones to get back home to. Like, that man need to call the police or something if that was a real situation.
to touch them. Yes, he said, I wanted to touch them. This literally his words, and this is what he's saying. They didn't like that. They was not going for that. So it's a problem. This little fight started to happen because he really wanted to touch them, and both girls end up falling in the water. The thing with these two girls is they cannot swim. They will drown. So it seemed like he
That's what I just said. I just said, wait, they can't swim?
hit them probably, and they fell in the water because he had this long pole with a spike hook at the bottom of it. It was something that he made himself. He even said that when they was trying to get back on the boat, I would hit them with it so they don't get back on the boat, and he left them to drown there. He says a statement that I really want y'all women to take seriously. It may sound like, oh, what? But this is literally how some creeps are. He said if they wasn't dressed so open like that, I wouldn't have done what I've done. Basically, you know how some girls dress and you can kind of see the top of the breast, or you wear some high shorts and it shows your figure. He's saying,
Yeah, people literally are like, will make excuses for being creepy. I'm not saying you should walk around with basically nothing on, but come on, we know, man, you know what I'm saying, when you younger, that life you got it, you know what I'm saying, flaunt it, like we didn't already went through our little, you know what I'm saying. But anyways, at the end of the day, somebody dressing with some skin showing, or however they choose to be dressed, does not give you the right to walk up. And hell, I don't care if they ain't got nothing on. And again, I'm not saying that's okay. I mean, that's just crazy. But you know what I'm saying. But at the end, here I go. At the end of the day, that does not give you the right to feel like you should be able to have access to that person. Like, how is that so hard for some people to understand? Like, some people just weird, bro. Like, they creepy. Like,
they dress and how they was dressed, he's saying the way how they was dressed was just too much, and it made him want them to the point to where he didn't care. And if he was going to get rejected, that means he will murder you. Everyone in town
you're
liked
70.
him.
Go
Literally
lay down.
everyone. He had a wife and he had 7 kids. And at this point, that's not
7 kids. What the hell are you? He got a wife and 7 kids. And that right there be even more mind blowing to me. With some of these like true crime stories, when you find out that these people be having whole ass families, like wife and kids, that is fucking terrifying. That is scary to me. 'Cause it's like, so I'm assuming that the spouse had no clue. Like, they didn't even know. They didn't see any red flags. No, like, how do you? Oh my gosh, that is just so scary. Like, people are out here married to creeps and they don't even know it. Oh my God. People got whole, you know what I'm saying, daddy don't even know they daddy is really a creep underneath. Like, is really a killer underneath it. That is
surprising to me because it's a lot of likable people that are just bad people, and there's like
yes.
a lot of people thinking that you just have to be
Yep.
disliked to be a bad person. You can be extremely likable and be horrible.
Yes. Thank you, Razvi. That's the one right there. I'm not saying everybody that's a likable person is a bad person, but like he said, there's a lot of likable people that are fucking horrible people underneath, and vice versa to that. The crazy thing is, there's a lot of people that, because of the way that they come off, or maybe they say things just straight up or so blunt, or how they thinking or how they feeling, right? Or they may say some things that you just really don't agree with, or you think that just, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? That can come off as like not likable. That really, it's like when you really get to know them or whatever, be around them, that are really some of the like nicest, sweetest people ever. Like, it's crazy out here, y'all. It's a crazy world we live in. My bad.
This wife had 7 kids with this man. She
That's
didn't
crazy.
know he had this in him. Didn't know. She was just shocked. Remember, he's 70, so they lived old together and still going.
Yes.
At least at that.
Yes. And clearly, sir, you was clapping it up. Clearly, you ain't getting enough from your wife. I mean, she gave you 7 kids. This is never enough, huh?
Time. I don't know if she's still alive today. This was 2007, but that just goes
Creeps
to
will
show
be
you
creeps.
how crazy it gets. You live with this man, you have kids with this man, and you
Yeah.
stay and y'all be together for decades, 30 plus years, and you still couldn't tell or couldn't know that he had this in him to where he would do these to this woman like that. And that
That's
couple,
crazy.
boy and a girl. Speaking of that couple, he was like, you don't have any evidence of me murdering that couple. I didn't touch that couple. Investigators was like, you're right, we don't. But it was a miracle. Some people was net fishing and throwing net and casting nets in the water that day. Remember in the beginning of this story, I told you this serial killer has a camera, and this is what's gonna solve some stuff in this case.
And that is where I was
Wow.
wrong at. That camera belonged to the couple that was walking on the beach looking pretty. It belonged to them. And he got the camera and threw it in the water just in case you had evidence of me. Yeah.
Grace of God, a miracle. They casted the net out to get some fish, pulled it back in, and oh, a camera. They see a camera. This camera was actually for the couple, and they had photos that they was taking of Mr. O. That's his name, the 70-year-old guy. So here's the first photo. As you can see, this is the boat, and they have a photo of him before they get on the boat. In this next photo, you can see how this water is and how the waves are. You fall in this water and you cannot swim. Yes, it's going to be very hard for you to live that and survive that. You in the middle of this ocean. In this next photo, you see Mr. O. He's doing something with the boat, messing with something, but they're taking a picture of it. I guess they're just taking pictures of whatever. We seen how happy they were, so you know it makes sense. Then this next photo, it kind of makes you think, why in the hell would you take this photo? It's just
close.
him, like of his arm, his shirt, a piece of his pants, and a piece of the boat. That's it. Maybe they were scared at this moment and he just was like, let's just take a picture. And she probably thought that she captured his face, but ended up capturing his lower half, or still his upper half, but his lower half, not including his face.
But that don't make sense because that would mean if she took this picture like this, she was trying to do it quick and the boyfriend was already drowned. He already drowned the boyfriend. So she took the picture just like, let me get his face before it was her turn next.
Now he wants the girl from this couple. The boyfriend, the girl, they're sitting looking out in the view, just looking at the water. All of a sudden, this man comes behind them and push the boyfriend in the water. These waves are crazy. He's trying to swim back to the boat. He gets that pole and he's like trying to just remove him from the boat so that he can drown. He ends up drowning. He said he done this because he wanted her to herself. He wanted the girlfriend all alone to herself so that he can SA her. This is what he said. I want her to myself so I can SA her. Once he got her to himself, took her to the boat, had her locked in this boat. She's locked in there. I don't know what he did to make her be locked in there like that. But she was locked in there. And he SA'd her. I guess he tied her up because he did had rope. If you don't remember in that crime scene shot of the hair tie, we see rope. He definitely tied her up. He essayed her. Then he eventually let her go though, and then there was tussling, and he pushed her in the water because his goal was to, after he was done, to push her in the water so she can drown too. Because you not snitching. That's why he untied her. Didn't want to keep her. Remember, he got to go back home to his 7 kids and wife.
Untie and then push in the water? How does that make any sense? I guess it was because I just want to give you a longer time to survive. So, splash, float, do whatever you need to do, but you won't last out here. And he knew
That's
it. Okay, so
crazy.
here's the updated version of what happened to this 70-year-old man that went to jail. So he went to jail and he was sentenced to death. In South Korea, they don't do the death penalty, so he would just rot in jail until he passed away. He passed away recently in 2024. I say that's recently because that was just a couple years ago, not too long ago.
Right.
And South Koreans was actually mad that he was living a peaceful life in jail because South Korean jails are not that bad. They wanted the worst for this man. They wanted him to be rotting
Really?
in the
Damn, y'all living it up in South Korean jails? Y'all living La Vida Loca? Y'all living luxury lifestyle in South Korean jails compared to American jails? I don't know now.
And I get that. But thankfully,
criminals, ain't
he
they?
was caught. He served his time and he passed away.
Well, y'all, that's it for today's video. Technically the same day. Anyways, y'all know what it is. But nah, that's crazy. I mean, of course, like, man, feel sorry for all the loved ones and stuff involved as always when it comes to these type of stories. But you can, as with everything, take it as a learning lesson. Look, y'all go out of these countries, or even in your home country, you really gotta be looking out, okay? Like watching out, because the creeps be on the move. They be out here. Like that's insane. Yeah. Anyways, y'all, don't forget we're kicking it over here Monday through Friday, and for specific topics, you guys just check that in the description below. Y'all have a good day.